Hello! I thought I would do a little developer let's play. This is on the upcoming patch 0.11.0. Don't believe your lying eyes. Let's see here. So I'm running a new perk that's coming up called Double Ds. It gives you 2 destroyers and then active builder because it's probably overpowered. So make sure that it's saved. We've got a flat cannon and a main cannon because I did a developer live stream the other day. If you missed that, well, join the Discord and then watch it. It'll probably be on Fridays or something like that. So, new campaign, hard is fine. We're just gonna jet through this thing. This new perk does make it a lot easier. This map kind of sucks, but that is what it is. It sucks because it has 2 cities instead of 3, so I won't be able to get as much good stuff. But, that's alright. It probably also means I won't waste as much money. That's very nice right there. We can actually capture this in 1 turn if we shoot it. We have attack neutrals on, so that's good. That was German. You probably won't believe that, but it was definitely German. Let's see here. So yeah, we'll end phase. We'll hit this once with a destroyer. Hopefully we don't do too much damage to it. Don't roll 4. It's good enough. Alright. Then we'll capture it in 1 turn, which is good. That'll get us an extra turn of monies. Or growth, or something. I think because I started with the 2 destroyers, we're going to... Good. We're going to go straight for a downtown. We have 15 turns. That's about the amount of time it takes for a downtown to equal a refinery in terms of output. I think. Maybe I'm a little off in there, but it's close enough. And it'll also give us... about 6,000 victory points. It looks like they did not go downtown this time, so that should be pretty close to getting us, an extra turn. So we're going to leave 1 destroyer behind for a turn or 2, so that if a sub comes to the city, it doesn't screw us up too badly. I'm not sure which way we're going to go. Actually, this will tell us which way we should go. So it's saying up, up, up. So we're going to go up, up, up. And we'll build a shipyard next turn, and then we'll probably pump out a PT boat and a few other things. But for now, just make sure our port's guarded and go to the next turn. Again, the port being guarded is because a sub just will not move there. And if it did, it would be very bad for the sub. Although I don't appreciate that it... I don't appreciate that it's bombarding me. Find that uncool. That means it's probably going to do it again. It didn't. Alright. Well, that's an interesting problem. So is that. I really want to know where that sub went. It would have moved 5, potentially. So where would it move 5 to? It was right around here. It could be over here, but it probably changed its goal. See if we get lucky. We did not get lucky. That is sad. Alright. So we're gonna go ahead and kill both of these with the... bombers. Bombers give a tiny bit of extra XP, so they give XP equal to the damage, assuming that any of them make it back. They do have to make it back in order to give you any XP. The next thing they do is, because every bomber that gets shot down hands out 1 XP, so also carriers get a bonus for everyone that makes it back. So whenever you kill an easy target, you're going to get a little bit of extra XP out of it, which is very handy. So, these things will be in the new help menu soon. We're gonna search around for a sub. Where would you go if you were a sub? Let me think here. We're doing this, it's a little risky because we're gonna pop out a PD boat there. We can always come back. It'll be a little lame if it gums us up for a couple turns. No. Okay. I did it there and not on top of the flagship because the destroyer already cleared all of this area. So the sub is either up here or it's retreating back home. or it's coming down here, I'm not sure. What else to say? After our PT boat, we're probably going to go for a cruiser or a submarine. This is in this patch, gun forts are also introduced, so there's probably going to be at least one gun fort by their city, and that means I'm going to need carriers, and I'm going to need potentially a sub to gum up things. I can't afford a cruiser, and I don't want to save my money, so we're going for that. Alright, still no sub. Just guard our port some more. Okay. I'm a little worried that I'm going to get beat up by a cruiser. That's probably... I bet there's one over here, unless they built... Usually the AI is going to go for subs or cruisers. And since I have a couple of destroyers, it's probably going to go cruisers, but... there's a chance that they're... Let's see, brute force, salvageering... Yeah, I'm not sure. We're just going to start pushing this that way. Again, we need this to go there sooner than later so that we have a chance of, if we get stuck on their gun fort and we can't get things done, we want to clog them up with the sub. I can't afford a real unit. I think we will save our money this time for a refinery or a hospital. Hospital would be for extra VP because of all the population growth, but it probably won't pay itself off. We're going to be a little more defensive here, so that destroyer gums everything up, and it makes sure that we don't get... that if a if a cruiser comes up here, he's going to be in range for us to bombard. And also we can't get too aggressive, because again, if they have a gun fort over here, it's just going to bombard our destroyer to death almost instantly. This looks fine. Okay. I'm going to take a note to double check growth. City growth. Make sure all modifiers are correct. Boop. We still have 2 growth, but it should be 3, I think, right now, because I have a downtown. So I don't remember if that turns off at 20 now. I think it's supposed to be higher than that, so I better... Maybe that'll be patched out here in a day or two. Okay. That's good. We'll get some damage on that guy. We're going to be even more defensive here. Again, this is in part because if a cruiser rolls up, we want it to be nice and close. There's a chance it'll roll up there. Also, same with if the destroyer comes up here, I'd actually rather him shoot my flagship. Destroyer's going up there. We can now build a refinery. We are in the pocket for being able to make a profit from it still, so let's do that. The pocket is around... It takes 6 turns to pay off, so you want about 7 turns so you can actually turn a profit. So this means it'll make me about 3 plus 15. It'll get me a net 18 bonus, which isn't terrible. It's not amazing, but it could be worse. It's a free destroyer. The crits are in. If we get lucky... No, we didn't roll any crits. There are several kinds of crits. These will be detailed in a devlog coming soon, and I believe they are detailed in the help menu, but we'll see if I get all the videos done for them. How dare you. Nasty man. I'm actually a little surprised I didn't repair that. That's okay. Let's see, 21. Let's see, and we're making 19 per turn. If we spent, if we bought a destroyer or a sub that would leave us with 5 or 6 left, then we would gain 19, which is enough to get another cruiser. I think we're going to end up losing a destroyer, and I'm going to need some next time. So we're going to build one. Yeah, there's the cruiser. And we don't want to get in range. What else? I think we're going to keep this guy backed off a little bit. He's probably going to roll up and still smack that destroyer. would be my guess. If we're lucky, he'll sit more out here, so he doesn't have to take as much damage. So that's probably true. He's probably not going to go out here. Hard to say. We do want to see... No gun fort. But they are building a cruiser. So we're going to get hit by a couple cruisers here. I think we might push this guy a square back. We're going to bomb him and bomb him. And go from there. Bombing him because if they do it right, then they would hit me with an extra torpedo, and I want to minimize the total number of hits that the thing's taken. Ah, weapon damage. Weapon damage is nice. It stacks with armor, so when he's doing one less damage to me, he's going to do one less on top of that because of the armor, which is quite a bit less damage when you add it all up. So, and then we actually have heavy guns on here, so we did an extra couple like that. If we get a lucky hull breach, we might actually keep him from firing, but that's probably not going to happen. Nah. Hull breaches are +3 damage, and +3 damage is pretty nice, I have to say. So I think what we're going to do... See, this guy's just going to start going that way. Go ahead and do that. We can afford a cruiser. It's going to take the cruiser almost the whole time to get over here, so if we're going to build it, we better build it. And we'll let the PT boat guard the cruiser, probably. I don't want to take extra damage. So we're going to move there. Building housing. Makes sense. It's probably a bad time to build housing, but it makes sense. So next turn we're going to hop onto that, which will prevent them from building anything unless they can actually chase us off. We're going to use our destroyer here to finish him off so we can put all of our damage onto this one. Also, it probably will give us a vet, which would be nice. Then... 20? Okay. I'd like to move up the transport, but it's probably going to get one shot by a cruiser if I'm too aggressive, so... Hey, hull breach. So that means that he's one-shottable. If he retreats to do anything interesting, he didn't. Okay. I'm a little surprised he didn't go on top of the destroyer for the extra damage. That's actually quite surprising to me. I wonder... Oh, that's why. He wanted to be able to choose... they do have a slight favorability to be able to choose multiple targets. So since he could shoot both of them, he moved there instead of getting max damage. Little sad for the AI, but these things are always noted, and then I can make it a tad harder after I go revise the rules. I know that you guys are all begging for it to be harder, so I'll do what I can, you know? I know you guys just friggin' love infinite difficulty. Let's see here. I think I'll go with a sub. We have plenty of anti-stuff, and we can't afford anything else, and a sub is probably fast enough to get over to the other side. We can actually measure it with you. 6 turns. It'll be close. I think we're actually going to cancel it and save money. We want to capture this. We want to capture it as fast as we can. So we're going to bombard the hell out of it. Double check for a sub. See if we get lucky. If we did not get lucky, I have no idea where their sub is at. We'll let him start chasing the cruiser in a turn. And then I might even build an extra one, just so I don't have the sub harass me. Okay, let's do it. I didn't check if they have a pillbox. They do not. That's handy. So we don't have to bore our way through a pillbox. We just have to do a giant pile of damage. Now, getting it all the way down to 6 is a little sad. So, but I think that's what we'll do. I'd like to capture it, get the extra VP, and the extra money. Technically, having the higher population might work itself out or something, but... How dare you? Oh, don't get a crit. Awesome. Alright. And we can't do anything cool there. 4 to 6. Our ideal is 6. We have 6, that's perfect. We'll skip. Nice. So now that's going to have to grow for a couple turns before we can get repairs or anything. But next turn we should get repairs and stuff. So we're actually going to be... Let's see, that's... I think we're going to be really, really aggressive here. Get you out of the way. We're actually going to pin the sub on him, because the sub will add a couple of damage. It's not a lot, but it might be enough to make sure that it goes down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage on it currently, I think. So... Man, it sucks that I have to give up repairs. But I'd rather not lose a sub to something stupid, so... Yeah, I have to give up a round of repairs, which is not great. Now again, that PT boat was guarding everything. We're letting him go. We're going to build up a backup one, even though that'll put us a little behind on the dollars. Let's see, over here we're going to build a gun fort. It's a little odd, but a gun fort gives you counts as fleet left behind when you leave the map, and it actually counts as double. So it means a gun fort is perfectly on the barrier to give you your first bonus turn. So for $18, I'm going to get a bonus turn. It's pretty handy. Let's see, 8. That's actually... I probably should have just calculated this out to do this, because that's a perfect amount to just one-shot it with the planes, unless everything goes terribly wrong. So it never gets to shoot, which means we don't have to do as many repairs. Our destroyer's in a little bit of a sad spot because of the being at 8. That's a break point for getting hit by 2 sets of bombers. But with any luck, we will not have to worry about that. Nice, so we have a gun fort that's protecting everything. Way to go. Jeez. We're gonna repair the flag. I don't know. That should be higher than 1 for sure. So let's get you guys down here. Aw, oh, man, that skirmish gave him engine damage. That's very sad. Okay. That's fine. Engine damage reduces your max speed to 2, so it's going to take him 2 turns to get over here, and then when he gets repaired, that'll auto-heal it, which is nice. Now, let's see, we need a battleship to ward off the cruisers that are going to... Actually, just in case we screw ourselves, let's get a carrier. So we're going carrier first, because if I face gun forts in the next map, such as a fortified, I want to be able to take them out. They're also good against wolf packs, which is handy. So, generally good against everything. And so, then with carriers and destroyer spam, that means they're probably going to want to have a bunch of cruisers. which means that we're going to then build a battleship next, so you have a nice mix. Battleships ward off the cruisers, carriers ward off everything else. 5 is probably good enough. I don't think 5 and 6 make a interesting breakpoint, so, nice, he's covered. Nothing interesting to do over here, so I think it's time to go to the next turn. Looks fine to me. We could... Oh, that's interesting. I think the wrong message popped up there. Weapons repaired instead of engine repaired for the string. So there's something like a 30% chance that you'll repair your own stuff without having to go to a repair yard. So, well, interesting. Yeah, so there's some sort of bug going on there. Said weapons repaired, but no weapon damage. This is my life. I take a bunch of notes all the time so that I can remember all the shit I'm supposed to fix. So you're getting a little window into development life. Let's see here. We really want to leave on when it says 1, so we have 2 turns. We might wait all the way for the Black Fleet, but if we do, our gun fort isn't going to count for anything because there'll be a bunch of ships on the map. That was actually a change prompted... That was the original design. It was a change prompted by somebody in the community talking about how they had no counter to anything coming onto the edge of the map. And I thought that was kind of a fair criticism. So I put them in, but that does mean that you can't leave as much stuff behind, because if you stay all the way to 0, because now there's going to be a bunch of ships on the map canceling the ships you left behind. So, alright, so we get 2 repairs left. This is just in range enough to do that. I think we'll want to heal the one that's way lower, just for the total. But he's not actually much tougher at 8 than he would be at 5, unfortunately. Just because of the breakpoints. Okay. There's still a sub sneaking around somewhere. I never killed it. I don't think. Maybe I did at the beginning. I forgot about it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, one more heal on the flagship would be nice, but... Oh. Yeah. We need our engine repaired. That's pretty funny. Okay. That'll be fine. Oh yeah, the sub can't come down here anyway, so that's all good. Yeah, we're pretty protected. I think next turn we just move everything in and go. That'll keep our extra turn. That'll keep our extra turn from this guy. We should make just enough victory points to get our extra turn from that as well. So we should leave this with 3 or 4 turns, and then we gain a perk. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll see if they screw up their move. Every once in a while. Oh. Interesting, that's a bug. That's very odd. Well, sorry, Mr. Destroyer, you're screwed. Take a note about that. Well, these should all be fixed in a day or so. Ho hum. I think we will go ahead and leave. Yeah, so we got an extra turn there. Oh, they had a bunch of ships left. I didn't know that. They were just being... they must have all just been hanging out down here with nothing to do. Sad. That's alright, we still got 4 turns. We got a new perk, escort service. Sounds good. Let's see, flagship, victory points. Yeah, rebuild cities sucks, and this favors them a lot because they'll probably get 2 cities. right off the bat, or if that's a rebuild city, they're going to be sitting right on top of it, which make it a big pain. Going here, yes, we have to earn a bunch of victory points, but we get a upgrade. We don't know what this is, and we don't know what... Ooh. Actually, so here's one of the cool things. So check out the title at the top, right here. So these actually are hints. When you learn enough, or somebody writes your wiki or whatever, the titles pull the data about the mission type, the modifier, if there is one, the reward, and the Admiral and some other things. And then they don't generate a name, but there's a series of names. So the Tyranny of Time happens to be Distress Signal, which is probably the meanest one to roll, unless you're just rolling in turns. So this one, I do not remember, which I think that means Fortified Region. Hammer and Anvil, that would make sense, because you'd be stuck between the Black Fleet and the anvil of all of the forts on the map. So that's... There is also a bug with randomized fleet colors, as you can tell, where my fleet color changed between missions, but most people probably have prescribed a fleet painter. And if you have, that bug shouldn't exist anyway. I've had to fix the fleet scheme at least once before. I don't see any forts there. Hammer and Anvil could also be an ambush, but I don't think it is. I'm on hard. It probably means there's like 6 forts, and there is quite a bit of land, so we'll see where they're at later. This all seems fine. Let's go. It's been very cool. Oh, alright. That must be an ambush then. See, even I need the wiki, and it doesn't exist. You need to be the hero of this story here. Okay, well, let's see what we can spot. We're gonna go all in. I don't think that they have tons of stuff. Oh, okay. See, this guy's gonna get bombarded by CVL if I let him do anything. And I don't want to lose my transport. He's kind of really important. So, let's see. I'd like to scan for subs up here. Then we'll put him next to that, just to give it a little bit of extra flack. Because this... Oh, and yeah, that's right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to double hit the CVL with our carrier. Hopefully we sink it in one go. That'll let us not have to worry about him taking out a bunch of stuff. And then we'll get to just whack them with impunity. As long as they don't knock out too many planes here. So CVL's health is... I think no, that's in a devlog that's coming up. In the one that's about crits and vets, it talks a little bit about max health and HP, how I balanced everything. And so CVLs are purposely sitting right there at 8. They actually started at 7 originally. So at 8, if they knock out a couple of planes, or your fleet knocks out a couple of planes, then it's just enough that they'll survive on 1. So it adds a nice little bit of tension there to ensure that you get sort of the max amount of tension from attacks like that. So even though they usually will get sunk, if you surround them with... If you put them at the back of your fleet and they have a whole bunch of flak on the way in, there's actually a pretty good chance they'll live instead. I'm hitting the PT boat first because I want to get rid of the flak, and I know I can't sink the cruiser. So in theory, Ooh, very nice. So that engine damage means he's not going to be able to do anything interesting. He's pretty much out of the game right now because of how far away he is. I don't think they have any carriers or they would have used them, but... Yeah, so that engine damage is the difference between them being aggressive versus whatever the hell they did instead. Who knows? What did you do? Where did you go? Oh. Okay. So we're gonna move block with the cruiser, that way they can't... I don't think he could reach anyway, but let's say if he rolls a repair for the engine damage and it actually repairs, we don't want him hopping on that, and we want to practice good play whenever we can anyway. Let's see, there's probably going to be a sub roaming around somewhere. I just can't imagine where it would be at this point. Okay. This all seems fine. And you might be wondering why didn't I move that in range. That's just not in range because why take extra damage if I don't need to? We're basically saying maximize our output damage, minimize our input damage right here. So yeah, we'll be able to sink this guy. He won't get to shoot at all even next turn because he'll be dead. Then we'll get to land one. We'll get to land one airstrike on the battleship. If we get really lucky, we'll get a nice crit. That would be a little bit of luck. That's probably about... It does tell you the percentage, but I never look. Hey, weapon damage. And our first vet of the round, displaying that. Veterancy increases your chance to crit, decreases your chance to be crit, increases your chance to do repairs, especially when it comes to fire. So if you get lit on fire. What else? There's something else it does. Oh, it increases your flak chance. Oh, you greedy pig. Alright, this is a very dead battleship at this point. And he didn't kill my transport, so... That's a win for the destroyer. That's even like a good historical usage of them, is just get in the way so they don't sink transports. There's a very famous one in the, I think you call it the Baltic Sea. It's around like Finland and stuff. A bunch of transports were coming up there. There's like 4 destroyers that chase off a battleship and its cruisers, or hold them off long enough for an allied cruiser to get there. Pretty cool. Alright, so let's see, we're going to do a little more invasion like that. That'll stack with theirs. That's... Some would probably consider that a bug. It just is what it is. Ooh. There might still be some stuff lying around here, and I haven't been careful. Need to be careful about forts. It would be very easy for me to run into one. Oh, no, I think it was an ambush. Okay. Use him to hopefully ward off any subs that could be around here. Nothing there. Sounds fine. They are potentially going to grab this city, but we're just going to move up and hammer it if they do, so it shouldn't be a big issue. Our main issue right now is that we have 1 destroyer, and we need to protect our city as well. It's not a huge issue, but it does present a small problem. I should probably add a hotkey to... I'll take a note about that. Add a hotkey for skip actions / what would you call it? End phase. This is all fine. Alright, we had to reload because I hit a bug with that I needed to fix, so let's do this again. Unfortunately, that means it's a little save scummy, because I now know where some stuff is. Can't really do anything about that, but there you go. we're actually going to be, because I know that they have a bunch of anti-sub stuff up there, we're going to be more safe with him. Move this around. Boop. So that's just low enough that he'll be able to capture it. We should be able to just sink you. I don't believe there are any subs around. We're just going to do a quick check anyway. Sounds good. I think we have just enough to kill that. Actually, we might be a little low because I did do something else last time. But, start with the bombers. See if we get lucky with a hull breach or something. Hey, fire isn't bad. Fire is pretty cool. It reduces their max speed and it has a chance of doing damage. I think we're just gonna have to potentially sacrifice our bombers to try and make sure we get enough. Interesting. So I guess if you do damage, you still get the stuff. 13 crit chance. Let's see if we get it. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Ah. To all the people complaining about patrols, I feel like they do pretty good. I'm not sure what. Ooh, it's got 3 crits going. Just took fire damage, it has weapon damage, and it has engine damage. So it has a max move speed of 1, I believe. That's awesome. It's cool to see that work. That's what I intended, but it's cool to see it work. Okay, this is that we have basically an empty carrier. We get a nice free shot with our sub. We can't do anything about you. I think what we want to do is patrol right there. That guards the most number of ships. And I don't think we're going to lose any crucial damage on it. Oof. And I couldn't guard him at all, so it's fine. At least he's got tons of flak. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Engine damage sucks. Pretty sad. Geez, that's a lot of carriers. Getting all kinds of crits on me. Ooh, they're gonna just nuke the battleship, aren't they? Jeez, just laying out crits on him. Very cool. I was happy about the crashes that the planes did. I just did a change. The bug was that the plane's turning radius was not updated with their speed. They get a speed bonus based on how far they go. And the speed bonus doesn't affect balance at all. It just affects... Sorry, I'm thinking. It just affects... Yeah. We'll put him there for the extra flak, but it means if this guy lives, which he will... he's going to come up here to not take as much damage. That would put him about there. Does he have any crits on him? No. Bring this guy all the way down. Do some quick checks. I think what we're going to do is put the sub here, so if he survives and he comes all the way over here, we'll get to shoot him there. So anyway, that's part of the thing about subs is I try and play where you do like a predictive placement. So when they move their cruiser here and I got a shot, also again, that proves that they don't know where the subs are, for those who disagree about that. The ideal use case for subs, you shoot on their turn and then you move it. You shoot and scoot. So I got my 5 or 6 damage out of the sub, had a good chance at a crit, and now they won't have any idea where it's at unless I get really unlucky. And now I'm thinking about how unlucky I'd have to be. We'll go there. Because if he moves there, then I get to shoot him with a cruiser, so that's not so bad. Okay. Let's run with that. They're gonna get that city. But if I can get... I need to get my few cruisers out to deal with these carriers efficiently. And so, that might be a little bit too curly-Q. I might have to deal with that. I guess I'm gonna make a note. Plane crash corkscrew too high. Yeah, this music's good. Carl did just such an excellent job with the soundtrack. Let's see, which one is this? I think this is number 9. I don't remember the names right now because I listened to it for months via numbers, so. Didn't cut it out of the video. There was another plane flying glitch, so I needed to go fix that because the game was stuck. In an ideal world, I could just set the plane speed and not have any problems. Let's see, what were we just doing? That's right. So what I did last time, and I'll do it again, oops, although I had that in a better spot, oh well, was I moved this up so I could one-shot the CVL, moved this up so I could guarantee finishing off as much as you can guarantee anything, the carrier. So we'll kill the CVL, we'll have just enough damage to also kill the carrier. Unless something really bad happens, we should keep the cruiser on a couple health, and be good to go. So now we want it downtown because we want a ton of victory points. That is our objective. Need a cruiser to help push off all of these carriers in case they have a bunch more. I think they're going to start going for cruiser because I have a cruiser. They treat the flagship as kind of a cruiser and a CVL. I have a carrier and a destroyer. These are all things weak to cruisers, so I would expect them to go cruiser. Although they might build a bunch of subs because they have this bonus. They did already capture that, which is bad news. And I can't really get in range to be able to bombard it other than with the cruiser. It's really too bad I moved the sub up that far. That's fine. Okay. Well, let's do this combat again. Hull breach. Well, that's bad news. Okay, so I won't have a cruiser. That's right, and that was actually, I wasn't supposed to shoot the carrier yet. Anyway, I need to knock out that CVL. I'm really glad that they didn't do anything with it. Let's see, did we do enough damage? We did. Just don't shoot down 2 before we drop our bombs. Thank you. Good. Alright, CVL's been cancelled. Ooh, got a nice little vet out of it. Yeah, so unfortunately, I'd love to be able to just speed up planes, but the way it's all programmed and how they fly and all that stuff, I don't have a lot of safety nets. Man, I could have really used... Nice. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, game. But that means without the cruiser, they're going to get the sub. So last time, a few minutes ago when I played, before I had that glitch, the sub was down 1 and the cruiser was alive on 3, so they didn't have a way... Oh, I think I'll live on 1 health. Unless, of course, they get a crit. These sons of bitches. I guess we'll do that for safety. Okay. Oh, buddy. Oh, and they do have... They're generating a bunch of that. That's no good for me either. We'll get a hospital on the small chance that they, come all the way over here. but also we have a lot of turns to still get the money out of it, and it'll grow us, so we'll get extra VP. It'll eventually get money because of the population. Go look at the help menu if you don't understand that. I would really like a flight deck also, though. So I could chase this carrier off. I think we just have to sit here and take it, though. Battleship would be good. If they are spamming cruisers, then I need to be able to take out the cruisers. We can't get close enough for our big guns, so we're just gonna go up here. We're gonna... You might wonder, why am I keeping these little ships here? It gives me extra flak. It also gives them extra targets, technically, but since all this flak is sharing, that's a good way to make sure that you, Oh, man. I really hope there's not a sub around here. Okay. Alright, I think the plan is we hit this with 8 planes. We'll get it to about 5-ish. Unless we get lucky. Alright, let's go for it. We also need to be close enough to apply pressure to the city if we can push them off. We have 13 turns, which is a good amount of time. But in this game, you always have to be pretty ready to be offensive and take some risks, especially on hard. So, no crits. I feel like I never get crits on carriers. Oh, did I do a bad thing? No. Okay. No, we didn't do a bad thing. We're amazing. Look at how amazing we are. Yeah, and I don't think there's any weird glitches with carriers. I think it's just that I never roll good crits on them. I have gotten an engine damage on them. An engine damage on them is pretty funny when it's like from a battleship, because it means that they just can't get away. Oh, there's a sub. I've been looking for you, buddy. You piece of trash. You ass trash. Okay, do that. Make sure that we don't die. Don't forget about the sub. Yeah, so if they're going to be building subs, we're also going to want... We're going to start with a carrier. In the next turn, we're going to make no money, so we'll start spamming destroyers after that. Let's see here. Yeah, we can't quite get close enough with the cruiser to get things done. We want to be more careful with this now. But yeah, so if they leave us alone, we can just start bombing this, and that'll be good because we need them not to be like outproducing us like crazy. Let's see, 41 versus 28. You guys might find me crazy, but no, it's not low enough. See, for the people saying is Fortifier worth it, well, being able to buy that for $8 instead of 18 is pretty good. But we'll go for a carrier. Ho-hum. This is going to be difficult. Hopefully I don't die on this mission, especially after all these glitches. The glitches are real pain. Okay, and then we don't actually care about the transport right now, so we're just going to start bombing. Ooh, and they have a fort. And the fort's in range of my cruiser. This is bad. We might have lost this game. Oh boy, what a pain in my ass. Fuck. Oh, that is so bad. Anyway, so, now that they can build gun forts, you will find the game is slightly more challenging, because stuff like that is pretty brutal. Jeez, so we're gonna have to... Yeah, we're gonna need that carrier now. So... Fuck. Do we save money? That's a question for the ages. Let's repair him. Repairing, if you think about it, is free money, so always try and be good about your repairs. We definitely move you up. That's not only because it's bonus flak, not only because he can hit that cruiser, but he might also take off shots and that kind of thing. We put that there. Just kind of search around, hopefully if they get any subs. I'm going to put this here just in case we need the flak bonus. Okay. I would really like to save for a carrier, but I don't have the time. Even a light carrier would be really strong here. Let's see, if we go for a PT boat, $4, that's pretty good. $4, that leaves 4 plus 14 plus 15, and we'll also have a couple extra population. That's enough to get a light carrier. Light carrier is weak to cruiser, but we have a battleship for that. I think we just have to go with it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to hit this with the battleship. Hopefully they don't cover it in planes, because I just made a mistake there. That's very good. So what we're going to do is hit this with our planes. We're going to hope for a crit. If we don't get a crit, I think we're going to be stuck hitting it with at least the one plane off of the sky. We might be stuck hitting it with, and hopefully they didn't build another fort. I didn't even... Oh, man. Yeah, we're gonna be super sad if that's alive. So, let's just take care of it. Yeah. So then what we're gonna do is next turn we're gonna start picking that with planes. We're gonna get that guy down here repairing. The PT boat will protect us from random submarines that they might have. Hopefully. Thank goodness they didn't build a fort. That would have been very bad, because that would probably go there, and it would have started shooting my flagship. We'll go for the extra 2 damage. See if we get lucky. Cool. I am still looking for ways to brighten up the planes and stuff, by the way. I just, I don't know if I should outline them. That might be a cool way to do it. So many design problems to consider. And then, of course, I would have to... There's also... Ooh, let's put you at the bottom so that when it spawns our ship, it's at the top. Free bonus of 1 movement. Let's see here. We really need to know what that's building. A battleship. That's not good. I don't want them to build a battleship. Let's see, our option... We have an option to move this up, and it's going to eat 2 broadsides from that. But if we move it up and we deal 6 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2, that's 11 plus 6. That's a ton of damage. That would basically knock out the city. It sucks that we have to kind of do this little dance here. And if we move down, that'll maximize our flak, I think. Yeah, it's a little risky, but we'll do that. So, let's see, get a repair, get a light carrier. Light carrier is going to help make sure that we clean this up. Then we're going to need to spam cruisers after that. We probably need 1 submarine to help shut this down. Okay, I think we got a plan. We have 10 turns. Alright, stick with the plan. Gun the shit out of the city. And with any luck, we'll kill the fort after we stop this from producing a battleship. But that battleship is going to be a really big problem. So, 12, yeah. We should get it just low enough. In fact, we might even be able to wrench it all the way down to 0 on their turn while killing this. I'm not confident in that, though. We're going to be a little low on planes, and I didn't preload this with very much damage. Yeah, 13. So it'll be 14 on my turn, which means 3 planes go there, and then a battleship and a thing can go up here as long as I don't lose a bunch of planes, and they don't distract me with a bunch of garbage. Okay. We got a plan. Great. Now that's interesting. That is probably a mistake. But who knows? Maybe they have a plan. I didn't want them to do that. Okay. This is shut down for now. So now we get to focus on problems at home. We'll give you the experience, I guess. We're gonna start gunning for this because it takes extra damage from planes, effectively. Ooh, weapon damage. Let's see, it's too bad that we didn't put our stuff towards that. We still have enough that we could. But we do have problems a little closer to home right now. I think we want to knock this out with the battleship. Hey, nice. Nice. It looks pretty from a distance. Kind of looks like fireworks. Oh, you son of a bitch. I thought that would spawn where I wanted it. That's terrible. Okay. That'll teach me. Teach me to be cheeky. We really want you to not get hit by a sub. We'll do that. So in theory, a sub would either have to go directly through that, which would let me bomb it, or it would have to go all the way around like that, which is a huge distance for it to go. So we should be pretty darn safe. I might have to move this cruiser out. See, 21 isn't enough to buy anything other than a sub. Sub is not a bad choice right now. I think I have to go back and repair soon. Which is really lame. I don't have time for repairs. Move back, sit on it for a couple turns, move forward. That's not going to work. We're in it to win it. We cannot take a step back. Let's see. Carrier. We can go this way. You can go here, that keeps everything in range. Get him out of battleship range, same with him. He's gonna have to stay in, but we can sink the battleship before it shoots. Dang. There's no... And then the cruiser is going to jump on my guy, which means either the battleship has to stay in the way. Oh, boy. Planes, 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 battleship. I think I have to just tank a death denied, and that's the only way to do it. Without... the cruiser might go here, too, and sink that, which would suck. There's not much I can do about that. I could be super aggressive with this, but that puts me open to subs. Yeah, maybe I don't have time for that repair. Okay. Alright. So yeah, what we want to do this turn... Sink this stuff, hopefully get rid of the cruiser in a sec. Then we're going to, if they don't push anything forward, we're going to get the chance to bomb this, potentially to death. If not to death, it'll be pretty close. And that would mean that we don't have to deal with that fort anymore. This is still at 0, so they have a long ways to go to deal with that. No crits. Sad. Yeah. This is going to take them a while to get back up and running, though. And that means that we're on even footing, and so as long as we're taking good trades... Ah, don't kill me, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Ah! Alright, GG. You got me. Fair enough. Alright, well that's the Let's Play for today. I got to fix a few plane bugs. You got to see me lose at my own game. And I gained a rank. What did we get? I didn't pay attention. Let's see, we got some health. Got 2 planes. Ooh. No main cannon. Let's see. Yeah, I'll probably end up trading it for 2 planes, so I'll get 2 planes and a health next time. We'll just do it for now. Yeah. Boop boop. And health. Flat cannons are good for various reasons. Have a good day.